Welcome to Breakfast with Leash. Even though it's not breakfast time, nowhere near it. Baby Journal episode number 2. So where I left off was I was about to go to my first appointment. Since then, I've had my first appointment, of course. It went really well, but as I suspected, I'm being considered high risk for 2 reasons. One is my premature labor, having 2 premature labors. So that's like the main reason I'm high risk. Another, which I didn't know, is my age. Although I look like a baby, I am 36, and I'm due September the 3rd. So I will be just turning 37 after I have the baby. Um, if I have the baby at my due date. If I have it a couple weeks earlier in August, then I'll still be 36. Either way. So with that, one thing that I learned that with age makes you more at risk for having a baby with Down syndrome. But the way the high risk doctor explained to me is still basically slim to none, because at 35 and older, it's like 1 out of every 200 people would one pregnant person out of 200 would have a baby that has Down syndrome. At 30, it would be 1 out of 400. So that really isn't a concern. That's just a reason for them to do blood work. And there's 2 like different types of blood tests they can do. It just kind of depends on, the fancier the blood test is, the more expensive it costs. So you have to find out if your insurance is going to pay for the fancy one or just the regular one. So I just opted for the regular one. But the biggest thing is just, trying to make sure I don't go into early labor. So with that being said, I see my regular OB every 4 weeks. For some people, like, they are, because of Corona, they're pushing back the visits to every 6 weeks instead of every 4 weeks. But because I'm high risk, she's keeping me at every 4 weeks. I went to my first ultrasound, which was like 2 or 3 weeks after my first appointment. We did my first ultrasound, and then from there, the high risk doctor said that because of my history, we are going to be doing monthly ultrasound monthly ultrasound appointments. Some are just to look at both the baby and my cervix, and some are to look at my cervix. And they're going to keep measuring my cervix, and any changes in my cervix means they're going to implant a cervical stitch, which is, if you don't know what that is like literally stitches in your cervix, which sound very uncomfortable, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed I don't have to get it. The other thing is, because I have history, high blood pressure history, I am at risk for having preeclampsia. So fingers crossed I don't get preeclampsia either. So now it's just kind of like not on any like restrictions or bed rest or anything like that. I have been like experienced like some cramping, not a lot, but then I went to my second appointment, which was the week after my first ultrasound, and me and my doctor talked about the cramping, and she's like, I understand, with your history why you can be nervous, but you still have to remember, like, the uterus is still a muscle, and it's still expanding to make room for the baby as the baby grows. And so some cramping is supposed to happen. So unfortunately, that's the pain, the cramping pain that I've been feeling. Because it's only something that you got to be cautious of if it stays, if you see bleeding, and it lasts for like a long period of time. Mine's have never last. I'd say longest maybe a half an hour. I am starting to feel the baby move. Today I am 16 weeks. I'm 16 weeks. Tomorrow I'll be 17 weeks. Hearing the baby, feeling the baby move. He I call him a he because I have faith it's going to be a boy. So he balls up and sometimes is very uncomfortable. I don't know. I guess he's trying to be a soccer player like his brother in there because he flipping, and I don't feel it all the time, not super often yet, but just he be hurt, laying on nerves, and yeah, totally uncomfortable, too uncomfortable. What else? It's been a really good experience so far. One thing that kind of sucks is, especially with my last pregnancy, I was felt really alone. My partner at the time wasn't really active in my appointments and things, and the things that he was present for. A lot of it felt like he was there kind of obligation because family members were like, yo, you have to be there. And now to have a partner that really wants to be there and really sad because he can't be there, and it's it sucks. That's the part that sucks, losing out on that part of the experience. To be able to go do the ultrasounds and look at the baby on the screen, because it's just really a crazy feeling of looking up at the screen and knowing it's really a little person that's growing inside of me. That's the most amazing part of it all. And I'm just taking it one day at a time. Food is still difficult. I'm not nauseous or anything, but it's just the baby done took over my, I can't have Pepsis. Pepsi don't taste the same. When I drink stuff, it has to be really, really cold. I've been drinking nothing but Sprite and water. That's all I drink. That's all I drink, Sprite and water. Occasional glass of juice here and there, but mostly Sprite and water. Food, I like to snack more than I like to actually eat meals, except for breakfast. Breakfast is the one thing this baby hasn't taken from me yet. At least not yet. Breakfast is something I'm definitely can eat a lot of. Especially my nudies breakfast. And everything is going really great and really smooth right now. The excitement, the knowledge of knowing that he's coming, and time is just going fast. It was just yesterday I was talking about how it was taking forever to come to my first appointment, and I'm about to go to my third with my OB, and I've had my second ultrasound today, which was really exciting, and I was really strong because she asked, did I want to know the sex if she can see it, and I was like, no, I'm trying to hold out. I held out. I mean, really looking up at that screen and the way it's black and white, I wouldn't know unless she told me. I couldn't distinguish an arm between a leg. The only thing I could tell you was the head. That's it. So so far, that's what we that's where we are. The journey to baby Pittman. So things are, it's like we're halfway already, like halfway through. It's crazy to even believe it. If you had told me a year ago this was where we would be, I'd be like, nah. But just the whole change of it all and everything that has happened thus far is really amazing. And one thing I am supposed to start, I haven't started yet, was weekly shots of progesterone. I think that's how you say it. It's a needle that I'm supposed to get to help strengthen my cervix to keep me from going into early labor. So we haven't that hasn't started. So hopefully when I go back to see the OB on Monday, that's something that will happen. Quick side note: when they do the internal like ultrasound of your cervix, yo, that legit feels like I'm considering a rape because it's like this stick and it kind of looks like a skinny dildo, like just in your cervix is so uncomfortable. Just a violation on so many levels. But the things you do to make sure you and your baby are alright. But so something I'm gonna have to suffer through at least until I'm 28 weeks. So we only at 17 or about to be at 17. So we got long ways to go. So, but I really have faith that everything is gonna work out, even if the baby does come early. Everything is just gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. The baby's gonna be okay, and it's gonna be a beautiful experience for the last child I'm bringing in the world because I'm definitely getting my tubes out after this. Um, but that's it for now. Till next time. See ya.